Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. We're reaching you live from Channels TV Sports Center in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm Austin Okonakman.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Cecilia Omolbe.
Glad you could join us again. I'm Tayo Salam.
Okay, let's get the show started now. We're still giving attention to grassroots football development. It's a battle for the final place. The competition, Channels National Kids Cup, has reached the crucial stage. 4 teams remaining. They will fight for a place in the final. Can Edo State go to the final and retain their title? Can Osun give us an upset? Channels National Kids Cup get our attention this morning on the show.
Well, shocking news. The story is focal point. They are out after scoring how many goals? Wow, I don't know what happened against. You said last night that Edo was actually, God was Edo yesterday. Okay, we're from Channels Kids Cup now. We'll talk about the Super Eagles. They are in France and 17 players are already in camp for the game against Mali. Talking about the friendlies and the build-up to the World Cup qualifiers in Russia.
Yeah, good one for the Super Eagles. And we hear more players are expected in camp before the end of today. So we'll see how that one plays out. Also on the show, but obviously we're going to the NBA now, to the NBA playoffs. Following 2 straight losses in Canada, the Cleveland Cavaliers returned to their home court and rebounded nicely to annihilate the Toronto Raptors 116-78 in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Cavs remain unbeaten at home in this year's playoffs, Austin. So it's safe to say home sweet home.
That's right.
So it's good to be back home. I mean, when you're home and you have your fans, 20,000, cheering and, supporting you, it has a way of driving you out to this kind of performances. And that's what we're seeing from the Cavs in this year's playoffs.
Fantastic. When you have an opportunity to win at home, you take it because that's the chance you have to actually impress your fans. Yeah. If you can't win at home, nobody is traveling to come watch you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Home sweet home for the Cavs. They needed to win that one to put them in driver's seat. And I think they're looking good now. Yeah.
Well, they're looking good, but Cecilia, if we look at the pattern, they've won 2 at home, they went away, lost 2, they've come back home, they've won another one. So is it safe to say they're going to go to Canada and lose another one and come back to a Game 7?
I was looking at the game yesterday. I'm wondering, it was another blowout, 116-78.
That's how many points?
That's a franchise postseason record, right?
Ridiculous.
That's close to
37. Yeah, 38 points. Thereabout, difference.
Wow. I was wondering. Okay, they finally got their rhythm, their shooting rhythm back.
Yes.
Maybe because they're home, you called it home sweet home. So maybe that's the reason. But if you look at the Cavs, I'm wondering, does that mean when they go to Canada in Toronto, usually they can't just bring in their A game, but this time around they had it all?
Yeah, I mean, you've seen the 2 games they've played in Canada so far. They were convincingly beaten. So you might have a point that whenever they're on the road, they struggle a bit, and but when they come back on, it's a bit easier for them. But they've done it now. 3-2, they lead the series, and that's the Eastern Conference and Finals. And Game 6 is back in Canada at Canada Center. That's in Toronto. That's tomorrow. We'll see what happens in that one. Confirmation of the results. Ridiculous.
Yeah, that's how to win. That's how to shake your
line in the final.
In the finals of the Eastern Conference, and happens to be playoffs NBA.
I mean,
that's ridiculous.
It's not good enough. Yeah, but good one for the Cavs. And Kevin Love, Cecilia, finally showed up. He had his one of the best series, one of his best games in the series.
24 minutes, he played 25 points. And take a look at the blocks too.
And it was very efficient from the field because he attempted just 10 shots and he made 8. I mean, that's a very high percentage for Kevin Love. LeBron was LeBron himself as well, so contributed, and he sat out the 4th quarter. They didn't need him because the game was as good as over. Yeah, after the 3rd.
Because the thing had gone in there to get everything done. Let me just sit back. But this doesn't take away from the fact that the Raptors have done what should be done at this stage of the competition. Maybe this is what they need. This is kind of spanking. They need to get back to reality.
They've had this spankings before.
This back up.
They had the first 2 games spanking 31 points, and there's the 3rd game. I mean, listen, I'm just wondering, do they usually leave everything at home and just come here? It's ridiculous. If you have to lose by 10 points, 20 points is okay in the playoffs and all that, the final series, but you're losing as much as 30, 31. Come on, Austin.
The team that wants to get it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I'm still impressed. I like what they've done with themselves, and whatever it is, they have another chance when they get back to Canada. Exactly. Or if somebody can spank it at bad at home, pay back.
Exactly.
So the same thing, show some quality.
You're spot on, Austin, because I mean, when the pairings became obvious that it was going to be the Cavs and the Raptors, I'm sure a lot of people said it was going to be a sweep.
Let's go to bed.
Yeah, but it's not a sweep so far. So the Raptors have a chance to protect home court tomorrow. And let's see if they will do it.
And even if they do it, they have to the last.
Yeah, well, let them get to that bridge first.
Let's see what they can. Okay, that's the NBA playoffs. The Eastern Conference is getting competitive. Let's go to France. Talk about the French Open, guys.
Yeah.
I look at what's going on now, and all I remember is, Roger Federer pulled out. But the show must go on.
Has to go on. Galmon Fields, pulled out as well. Own boy, you know what he brings to tournaments like this is always a show guy as well.
Also his style of play and everything.
His style of play, but no Roger Federer, no Monfils, but the show goes on. And the story, Austin, Cecilia, has been all about Andy Murray. He struggled. He struggled in round 1. He struggled in round 2, Cecilia.
Yeah, I think yesterday, when he had, sometimes there'll just be an implosion, and somehow he's able to bounce back. It's been the 2 games he's played. He's gone into 5 sets and all that, but he has come out of it. I think that's definitely going to make him stronger. But looking at some of the selected results from the men's single, Kei Nishikori, of course, Austin's best friend, having a sweep one against Andrei Kuznetsov, 6-3, 6-3, 6-3. It ended, and Taro Daniel had to at least try his best to take something out of Stan Wawrinka, but then at the end of the day, Stan Wawrinka won 7-6, 6-3, and 6-4. Other results, and Murray talked about him, that's a ridiculous result. 6-2, the first one he won. The second set, Matthias had to take a set off him, and the third set, again, he did the same thing. Of course, Andy Murray, again, he bounced back and fought back 6-2, 6-3. He won the final set. And John Isner, the guy who knows how to play 5-set thriller marathon, but he's not doing it this time around. It's Andy Murray that's actually doing all the job of 5-set thriller. He defeated Kylie Edward 6-4, 6-4, 6-4. That's a straight set. By straight. Nick Kyrgios is still very much in it against Igor. 6-3, 6-2, 6-1. That ended. Men selected results, where we know the big seeds will definitely be playing today. The likes of Novak Djokovic, Serena Williams, all of them will be in action today. For the women also, Simona Halep, of course, she's still very much into it and everything.
We talked about that she needs to sustain the momentum. What she did at the ATP Tour. This is where this is the real deal. You need to come out and do what you need to do. Petra Kvitova, also decent tennis player. Anytime, any day, had to push away our opponent to win that one. I like the girl that is back, Samantha Stosur. Stosur is back. She's on and off. Injuries not lying out. Domestic issues also not lying out. But good to see her. And look, is that same lady Shuazang? So the women's category, anything can happen. We're all surprised what's going on with Andy Murray, because we expect at this stage he should be having a clean sweep. I mean, Kei Nishikori is winning and giving me some promise.
Exactly.
Murray should be doing it. But guys, remember, I told you, there's no way we'll not feel the absence of Marismo. Maybe.
Yeah, perhaps.
Maybe.
Perhaps that's having an effect. We can't really say for sure. We don't know the makeup of his coaching team right now, but that should not be an excuse. If you want to consider the kind of opponents he's faced so far. In the first round, he faced Radek Stepanek, 37-year-old, is getting on in age, and he struggled in that one.
He played against experienced guys.
But what about Matthias? He's a wild card. He's ranked, I think, on 164 in the world. I mean, that's another 5 sets right there. It shows you there's something wrong. Although, Cecilia, what you said earlier is that it shows Murray's got some character. Is going to make him stronger. But when you're struggling against lower, ranked players like this, and you should be worried a bit.
It's just easy to make the news.
No,
careful.
He was close to getting knocked out.
Exactly. Especially against Stepanek. Stepanek was actually complaining about the lights at that time. That's why the game was suspended. Bad lights and all that. I'm sure that's why he lost the final set 6-love. I mean, it was Murray actually got that one, and that actually gave him that boost when he came in the next day for him to continue playing. But when you continue playing 5-set thriller games like this, and you haven't even got into the main rounds and all that, it takes a lot. And by the time you get to meet strong opponent.
I
Well,
mean,
this might make him stronger, or this might make him get tired easily, because when you have to play over to the next day, it's really not funny at all.
Andy Murray, it's okay. Let my guys throw the criticism at you. I'm still speaking for Andy Murray because Dustin Brown made a big name of himself out of Rafael Nadal. So this things happen, and then Andy Murray is still to an extent showing some character. Yes, he's struggling, but in the end, he's still winning. So it's very, very important.
And quickly, before we move on from tennis, Rafael Nadal will play today, and Novak Djokovic as well will play today. They're likely to meet in the semifinals. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to that already. Hopefully, no upsets, so we can see these two guys meet. It's going to be a blockbuster. Nadal's looking for his 10th, and Djokovic is looking for his first.
It's very first.
I can't wait.
The difference is clear.
Still a while to go.
I could watch Nadal's match, but I'll just go to sleep for Novak Djokovic. I'll check the results online. For Novak Djokovic.
Playing Steve Dawson. Remember Steve Dawson?
Yeah. That's him pushing aside.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a French Open, so that's where you get all the upsets. That's where you have some players from outside players usually get the opportunity to actually win
when they
this
get
one.
On the French clay.
Yeah, you have regulars in some courts, but when it comes to clay, usually you don't have regulars outside Rafael Nadal, of course.
Yeah. Yes.
So anybody can actually win.
Have to be bit careful.
Be careful about
not to Novak Djokovic. That's clearly when we're all saying that this guy
when
is not
it's on
one.
clay, it's difficult, so you really can't. When it's on clay,
I know. I'm not watching Djokovic at this stage from the semis.
That's when you start watching Djokovic, right?
That's when
then
it's
I say, yeah, he needs to do something about winning the French Open. Let's leave Novak Djokovic and tennis now, guys. We're talking about this, and
and you're still shocked?
Yeah, what's going on, Rafael? Is he trying to be a messiah, Rafael Benitez?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, maybe he wants to be the
messiah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't want to hear stories in about 4 months into the new season, and I'm tired. I didn't know this is that.
Incredible.
He's staying with Newcastle.
I mean, when the report first came out yesterday morning, it was looking very likely he was going to sign a new 3-year deal. But later last night, it was confirmed by Newcastle that Rafael Benitez, Champions League winner, 2-time UEFA Europa Cup, Europa League winner, is going to stay with Newcastle in the Championship.
Wow.
And it's just a bit shocking. I mean, we've been waiting all for since Saturday and since Saturday for Mourinho to actually do his deal with United. It hasn't happened, but this guy
has happened immediately
quickly
in the Championship.
I'm looking at what he did, when he came in and all that. He was in charge of 10 games and he won just 3.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking at it. Okay, maybe most of the players, the last games they played, especially the last game they played against Tottenham Hotspur, maybe, just maybe, they're already coming into the party. When I mean coming into the party, the players, all of them are going to stay. If all the players stays with him, definitely, I think they will bounce back. But when you go in relegation, coming back is always very difficult. But Newcastle have done it before. They go in relegation before they are back. And that's only when all the players get to stay with them. But if the players won't stay, I don't know how he's going to do it.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the last time it happened, the last time they were relegated, 2008 and 2009, they bounced back straight away. But times have changed now.
That's right.
It's a lot tougher.
I know.
In the Championship. There are a lot of good sides there that want to come up as well. So you'll be out for Benitez. And when this kind of deal happens, Austin, your immediate reaction is that Rafael Benitez's stock has really fallen because for him to be coaching in the Championship when his contemporaries are in the Premier League. I mean, the Premier League is going to be filled with quality coaches.
Quality everywhere. And Tayo Cecilia, what I'm trying to understand is if he couldn't save Newcastle from relegation, what's making him think he can bring them back to the Premier League?
It would have been difficult because it would have been
but he had a chance. He had a chance. I mean, he lost
crucial games.
He drew at Aston Villa where Aston Villa 3 points,
Come on, Aqua United would have gone to Aston Villa then and win, and he wasn't winning against Aston Villa. And again, I want to understand, what does it look? Is it peace of mind?
I don't know. I can answer
when you
that
have
question.
a job, when you have a job and you know you're sure of the job, you just hold on to it.
It's better than just being out there and looking for, right?
Looking for another. This is a coach who's used to coaching Championship
there is
side.
nobody at Everton. Rafa Benitez can be at Everton.
Yeah, but he's got ties with Liverpool.
It's ironic. He can't coach exactly. Maybe. I mean, I'm looking at
there are other clubs though.
You're looking at a club.
Premier League.
You're looking at a coach. Who was at the beginning of last season? He was coaching the
Real
biggest
Madrid, the
club
biggest
in the world.
in the world. Yeah.
I mean, he was there, and you went to a championship side, a Premier League side that was struggling, and now next season is going to be a championship side. I mean, it's
incredible stuff.
He's trying to tell us a story. We'll know about it.
And what you said, Austin, perhaps he's trying to be a messiah.
Yeah.
Perhaps that's what he wants to do. He wants to be a legend
So we'll talk
at
about
St. James's Park, and we'll find out. I mean, but for Newcastle, it's a major coup for them. I mean, for them to tie down with coach all this quality. I think it's a good one for Mike Ashley.
Mike Ashley and his board, they will come back someday. Look, we're giving this guy so much money. We've got to somebody that we know with the tradition of the club can still give us promotion.